Hello. So, a short introduction why this active pregnancy approach, or in other words, physical activity behavior during pregnancy and the postpartum period, is considered as an important public health issue. Before we move on, well, in first place, we all know that physical activity and exercise, I mean physical activity and exercise because these concepts are different, okay? And but they are considered as a behavior, okay? And it's a behavior that should be part of an active and healthy lifestyle across the lifespan and, of course, during pregnancy and postpartum. And in the previous 20 years, more or less, we have been having several published papers, or it means growing evidence on the impact on maternal health and fitness parameters. Okay, but this impact of physical activity during a pregnancy is not only about the mother. Okay, it's about the outcomes of the pregnancy itself. It's about the fetus, it's about the baby, and later in life. Okay, and it will affect the health and the development of the fetus. It will affect the way the birth will happen. It will affect the health of the children. And the other issue is if women, there is evidence that if the woman is active during pregnancy, um, the well, the mothers and the babies will be more likely to be active later in life, and have active children as well. Okay. However, so if there is plenty of evidence showing that there are positive impacts of physical activity in pregnancy and postpartum, why is this a concern? Because on the contrary of this growing evidence, we know that pregnant and postpartum women remain considerably less physical active compared to the general population. And this is a knowledge practice gap because we know there are great implications of physical inactivity and sedentary behavior on our health as healthy adult, children, or if we are in pregnancy or not, right? So, physical inactivity is a major health issue, and and this is a problem, or a double problem during pregnancy, because we are not talking only about the woman, but we are talking about the fetus and the baby, of course. And that's why this is a public health issue. Okay. So, in this short introduction, you will see several papers and several materials that We recommend you to read them, and they will be available for you to study and learn more details about why this is a public health issue. I already told you about the active pregnancy guide, so very simple tool that contains information that should be shared with all pregnant women. And you also have this interesting study here by Loretta Di Pietro and colleagues, and this is umbrella review. So this is a study that consists on systematic review of systematic reviews. So we will explain it later. But this is the only umbrella review that revises the benefits of physical activity during pregnancy and postpartum. Also, an interesting paper here. This is just a narrative review explaining why exercise is different from physical activity. Another guide here to help health professionals in promoting physical activity during pregnancy. And when we are promoting physical activity, it's important to understand the barriers, to understand the facilitators of our populations, our target populations, including the socioeconomic level of our populations and the way they understand physical activity has a behavior that is more formal, and then we call it exercise or sports, or it is more related with daily living. Because when we talk about physical activity, we are talking about metabolic stimulus, but it is supposed to have different forms of impacting the body. Back to our pregnant women. So during pregnancy, we have a window of opportunity to get women more active and to maintain an active lifestyle. So they are more open to change the behaviors regarding this active and healthy lifestyle. And that's why it is important to raise the attention and raise the competence of exercise professionals and healthcare professionals regarding the communication with women. So we know that, for instance, knowing the health benefits of physical activity and exercise will lead to more favorable attitudes towards exercise. We know that increasing literacy regarding these the benefits for the woman and for the baby, it will also lead to more effective behaviors, and this competence is more like the likely to be developed by healthcare professionals. Okay, so healthcare professionals are in the first place regarding the role of promoting physical activity during pregnancy and postpartum. And if possible, and another thing is only healthcare providers can develop adequate health screening, okay? And um, and if possible, refer these pregnant clients to the exercise professionals that are the professionals with the competence to deliver supervised programs to conduct different types of sessions to functional and fitness testing, if appropriate, and of course to prescribe exercise, including all the steps that are supposed to be included in an exercise a plan. So assessing the general physical activity pattern, it's very interesting and adequate in order to promote these behaviors, but then we need to, or we should provide them with an exercise prescription plan tailored to her characteristics in order to have more impact. And why the exercise prescription plan, and why supervised exercise programs? Because we know there are different types of benefits of physical activity in general and exercise programs in particular. And we have to understand why exercise is different from physical activity. What is the difference? Why? What type of stimulus is each form of exercise providing to women? Specifically, if we are talking about the metabolic stimulus and also the biomechanical stimulus, and we can address these regarding the biomechanical changes and the cardiovascular changes that will happen across pregnancy, and then for a selected program. So, and I mean the quantity and quality of metabolic and biomechanical stimulus that is included in that program or in that particular form of exercise. Then another perspective is this program effective in regarding the prevention of something, a prevention of a disease, or is this program effective in the treatment of some disease? If we are talking about fitness component, we are not talking about treatment. We will be talking about effectiveness. So is this program, and in other words, is this type of exercise, is this intensity, duration, frequency, altogether we call it volume. So is this volume of exercise or physical activity appropriate to prevent something, for instance, gestational diabetes, or is this enough to manage hypertension during pregnancy, or is this enough and appropriate to improve cardiovascular or cardiorespiratory fitness during pregnancy, or for instance, to provide benefits regarding balance. Okay, so these are two different approaches in public health. Okay, and then and finally, it is important to understand when we are searching in literature and trying to learn what this paper or this guideline is telling me, if we need to, in first place, to identify if this is evidence-based content or it is expert opinion content. So just to clarify that we will be talking about physical activity regarding is physiological concept, okay? And physical activity is defined as any bodily movement produced by the contraction of skeletal muscles, okay? And this contraction of skeletal muscles will result in a substantial increase in caloric requirements over resting energy expenditure, okay? So we are talking about energy. So when we are moving, doing something, and we can categorize physical activity in different contexts, okay? So I can do physical activity during my leisure time. I can do physical activity if I'm exercising or doing some sports, or at work, I have a more active occupation or not. I'm doing some household chores, so it depends if I'm cleaning or gardening. And also, I have these transportation activities, walking or using a bicycle. And all these types of activities are supposed to substantially increase the caloric requirements, and they are related to an intensity, okay? So how difficult is to perform something, and so I can do some physical activity, and I don't have to be in a gym or be a basketball player, okay? So this concept is regarding physiological adaptations. And of course, exercise or sports is a subcategory of physical activity because it's something that is planned, is structured, is repetitive, and is aimed at improving or maintaining one or more components of physical fitness. Another approach, and which is pretty much the same, is the physiotherapy, okay? In physiotherapy, we have the same concept. So we provide exercises to improve or rehabilitate some structure, okay? But we need specific exercises to do that. So, and then this ability to do some physical activity or to do some exercise is related with physical fitness, okay? And physical fitness will be these characteristics that we have or that we want to achieve to perform physical activity or to be able to perform extra physical activity or extra exercises, and this will be linked to our capacity and also to our health. Okay, so as better the physical activity, the physical fitness component, the better our health. So we have to have this approach, or having this, we have this measure of intensity. In other words, this measure of physical activity, of the stimulus. We can think about metabolic equivalents, I mean energy requirements, and then we use this MET approach. It means that we will have light intensity or moderate intensity or vigorous intensity regarding metabolic requirements. It means that I'm doing something which will increase my energy demands, and this can be translated in the level of the quantity of oxygen that I'm capturing, that I'm transporting, that I'm using at cellular level. And this is expressed in milliliters per kilogram per minute. And then I can transform this, I can normalize these units in metabolic equivalents. Okay, we will further explain this, and we can compare this intensity with the rest level. So at rest, we are supposed to produce around 1 metabolic equivalent, and when we are doing some physical activity, we will increase, or we will multiply these METs, and that's why we have different categories of metabolic intensity. And we have the same regarding biomechanical intensity, okay? So when we are standing still, we are supposed to produce a biomechanical load of 1 equivalent to body weight, and when we move, we are supposed to multiply this body weight intensity, okay? Usually we call it weight because we measure these forces applied to the body in kilograms, but in fact, we should be talking in newtons, so the ground reaction forces applied to the body, and we can translate this into body weight, okay? Units of body weight, and then in the same way as metabolic equivalent, we can have the idea of the if the under the biomechanical intensity perspective, this activity is low intensity, moderate intensity, or high skeletal loading intensity. Okay, what we know is that there is a minimum of metabolic intensity and a minimum of mechanical intensity that we need to move. We need it to grow. We need to improve fitness. We need to improve health, and this will happen across life, and when we have different conditions, special conditions in our body, such as pregnancy. Okay, so when we are, for instance, running for 30 minutes, okay, we have to understand this as, or we can translate this as either an exercise, an aerobic effort whose intensity is about 60% of maximal oxygen uptake, and this is related with a certain amount of calories. But this is also a mechanical effort of which the vertical component of the ground reaction force is about 160 Newton, or it's about 2 times the body weight of this person. Okay, so 2 different perspectives of the exercise. Then, regarding the prevention or treatment action of or effectiveness of a program, it is important. Where are we getting this information? In studies, okay? So in scientific studies, in evidence-based studies that show different types of studies, because we need different types of studies to tell us that this quantity of movement is good for preventing something, or this quantity of exercise is good to treat something, or this quantity of exercise is appropriate to improve fitness or improve balance, or to improve resistance of the muscles. Okay, and therefore it is important to of course check the available evidence, but to understand that each paper may be using a different design, and this design will be adequate or not to provide different conclusions. Okay, so different designs will provide us with information if that exercise program is fine, is appropriate to provide prevention benefits, or to provide treatment benefits or effectiveness benefits regarding a selected program and a selected fetal or pregnancy outcome, okay, or birth outcome. And that's why we have to address the adaptations of the different types of adaptations during pregnancy, the different stages of the fetal development, and the different stages of postpartum recovery, in order to understand what is the best exercise or the best physical activity behavior and other lifestyle components to develop during that particular stage, and how this behavior will impact on the woman's health or woman's fitness, or in a selected disease or complication.